if you were able to extrapolate that it would be a low percentage of victims and you would have acted accordingly. Like maybe we would have quarantined the elderly or the morbidly obese, or we took away what you were able to extrapolate from Princess Cruises, which turns out to be quite accurate. And we can't say hindsight's 2020 because you were saying this then and it turned out to be true. Why was the NIH and Fauci and Collins and all of those people, why were they not seeing the same things you were? And subsequently, were the people on the streets that we're watching just drop dead in China, was that fake? What the hell was that then?
That might have been. I mean, that's where I started.
Right.
Assuming out of China, that was just a psyops operation out of China. Okay. But set that aside.
Okay.
First of all these, the Fauci of the world, they had access to all this information. And again, this is Oxford's Center for Evidence-Based Medicine. They were writing their, predictions of the, case fatality and then infection fatality rate. I mean, this was all early on, same with John Ioannidis. I would say go back to an event held at the Milken Institute with Rick Bright, who was the fellow who sabotaged the use of hydroxychloroquine, so people didn't have access to it, and Anthony Fauci. So they're in this Milken Institute bemoaning the fact that we don't have a universal vaccination program. And, I think as Fauci said, flu vaccine, flu itself just isn't enough to prompt people so that we have like pretty much 100% coverage of everybody getting a flu vaccine. In order to have a universal vaccination program, probably going to take something like a pandemic. Again, this is October 2019. A couple weeks later, coincidentally or not, you have this event 201, by Avril Haines, led by Avril Haines. The whole point about that is talking about in case of a pandemic or some kind of biological instance, a big problem is going to be misinformation.
Oh my God.
So we're going to have to figure out how to battle misinformation. And so that's where you have Trusted News Initiative. By the way, not to plug somebody else's podcast, but on the flight over to DC here, literally just an hour or two ago, I listened to the full 3-hour Joe Rogan podcast interview with Michael Benz, who puts a lot of this together as well. But by the way, God bless podcasters. I mean, God bless you folks that are coming on here, holding lengthened interviews so you can start getting into some of these issues in real depth. Okay, you're providing truth. Or certainly what we believe is truth. Right. And again, nobody has a corner on the truth, but you're starting to open up people's eyes in terms of what has been happening in this world. And it's all quite confusing. I don't have all the answers, but hopefully we're trying to provide some, at least getting people to ask questions, not just blindly accept what we hear on the major networks, what we hear on the social media companies. People are starting to ask questions. It is the silver lining in COVID, by the way, that it has opened up people's eyes to the lies that have been told by those in authority for decades.
Senator, you are on something called the Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations, which is the most powerful investigatory body in the U.S. Senate, and you have the strongest subpoena power. And you are sitting here telling me and my audience that you're still looking for answers, that you're trying to get to the truth. Do you know how crazy that sounds to a regular citizen?
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And make sure to let me know what guests you want to see on in the future.